Well, tonight we're having 3 onion rubbed Italian style grilled chicken breast served with a creamy risotto and steamed vegetables. Sounds pretty fancy and a lot of work, isn't it? What if I told you I could have this done in less than 30 minutes? Sure, I could probably have it done in 20 even. Thanks to Pampered Chef and this wonderful recipe. Now, some of you may have never had risotto. Risotto is an Italian-style rice of creamy, absolute deliciousness that will become a quick favorite in your family. Now, risotto is very intensive to make. You stand over the stove and you stir, and you have to keep stirring it till it's done. It takes a half an hour, sometimes longer, and it's such a job, and it's picky, and you can screw it up really easy. But this is a no-stir risotto recipe that makes it in a microwave super easy, and you can get on with your life while your dinner's cooking, and you can enjoy risotto. First thing you want to do is heat up your pan. Now, whenever you're cooking anything, make sure you heat your pan first before you put your oil in it. You want to put oil into a hot pan. The reason why you don't want to put your oil into the cold pan is because by the time whatever you got done is done cooking, your oil, like your olive oil or your butter, will have started burning. So heat up your pan before you put the oil in. Now, you got to dice an onion real fine. Now, you could be crying and trying to dice the damn onion and making a big mess and getting all pissed off and taking forever to chop it. Or you could let the handy chopper do it for you. As you notice, the onion gets peeled down this way, not this way, unless you're making onion rings. Keep that in mind for when you cut an onion. So you take the peel off. I usually get pissed off and takes the whole layer off because I got no patience for it. Now, instead of sitting there and chopping onions, we're going to let the food chopper do it for us. That's why things make so fast. It's got this nice little lid on the bottom as a guard, and if you're only chopping a little bit, you can chop right in there to save you from peeling it off a cutting board. I usually just chopped onions. Done. That easy. You want to chop them finer? Because the kids say, I don't like onions. So you chop them finer, don't even know they're in there. You get the flavor you want, and you don't have to listen to them bitch about, I don't like onions. But everything makes it taste so good. Now it's super fine. Check how fine that is now. Isn't that beautiful? Super fine. This comes apart for easy cleaning. Throws in the dishwasher. Beautiful. But I'm not just going to chop my onions with it. I'm going to put some celery in the pot too. So I'm going to chop some celery with it. Now you could sit there and stick your little slices of celery with your chef's knife, or use your paring knife, or try to cut it with a piece of shit knife you have that probably hasn't been sharpened in years. Or you could just have it done like that. Look how fine that celery's diced. Really nice for dressing when you need to cut up lots of it, I tell you. So the pan is starting to heat now. Now I'm cooking this risotto in the rock crock. This is the rock crock collection. It's made out of clay. This is the everyday pan. There's also a bigger Dutch oven size pan. That's this one here I just took out of the freezer with the chicken broth. And then there's the monster of all pans. Look at the size of he. Perfect Jig's dinner. And what I really like about the rock crock, it's dishwasher safe, it's stovetop safe, it's oven safe, it's freezer safe, it's fridge safe, it's microwave safe. Notice that broth I said I took out of the freezer? Well, I started after Thanksgiving. I boiled down my bones to make a pot of soup in the great big one. Then I got tired of making soup, so I divided one into a big old salt beef bucket and threw it in the freezer, and I threw the other half in that pot and put it in the freezer. Now I've taken it out of pot. Sure, I'm going to put heat straight on the stove. I don't even have to wait for it to thaw out, or put it in the oven, and then I can have add my vegetables whenever I want and have a nice pot of homemade soup without any work involved. Then I can store it in the fridge when I'm done, so you can eat it out of the pot till it's done. You don't have any other dish to do. You start with that dish, you end with that dish, you put it in the dishwasher. It's beautiful. I love them for that reason. And we're going to cook our risotto in it tonight. So now the pan is heating. I'm going to take my rubber scraper. I told you I use this heat for everything. A couple of tablespoons of butter in there. Now that it's going to melt right away, because I heated up my pan first. And then we're going to add our rice and our celery. And we're going to add 3 cloves of garlic. Now this is the garlic press. You've already seen it. You'll wonder how you ever lived it. You'll never buy garlic in a jar again, and you'll quit using garlic powder because this is so easy. Skin's still on it. Squeezes right in. It's got this handy little tool, so you can scrape it off the bottom. Pull out the skin. If you really don't want your hands to touch it, you can just use that to pull out the skin. Stick the next garlic in there. Look at that. Pops right out. And if some does happen to get stuck in, it's got this handy little cleaning tool that you just stick in the holes and rinse it off. And it stores right here in the handle. This garlic press I've had forever. You will buy this garlic press and you will never ever, you hand it down to your grandchildren. It's a beautiful thing, and if you have ever had a garlic press before and you never use it because it doesn't work and it's hard to clean, it's because it's a piece of shit. Throw it out and get yourself a good garlic press. I mean, look how easy that is. That's why I can make such nice meals so fast. It's because I'm not farting around with prepping and chopping and everything. Look at that, it's done. We're going to get this all in here now. I love this handy little scraper. It's great for scraping stuff off your cutting board and getting her away without trying to balance it on your knife. Now I'm going to let that cook for 3 or 4 minutes. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of arborio rice. Arborio rice is the rice you use for making risotto. This is what the label looks like. This is not what it comes in. It comes in a vacuum sealed bag. But that's the rice you use for making risotto. Once that cooks for a few minutes, it's just the onions, the celery, and a bit of butter. I'm going to add the rice and continue to cook that till it gets a little toasty. Then we're going to add 3½ cups of chicken broth and microwave it for 15 minutes. And then supper's going to be done. While it's microwaving, I'm going to cook a couple nice pieces of chicken on my grill pan and press. I use my grill pan and press probably, I don't know, 5-6 times a week. This chicken's been seasoned with Italian season and a little 3 onion rub. Now I still have to put my salt on it, but you shouldn't put your salt on your chicken till you're ready to put it in the pan, because salt draws the moisture from it and can dry your meat out. So put your seasonings on it. Now if you like to use pre-made seasonings, make sure they got no salt in the ingredients. If they do, don't put them on till you're about to put it in the pan. That'll make a world of difference in how tender your chicken is. I'm going to put 3½ cups of broth into this batter bowl. The This batter bowl gets used tons in my house. It's got a nice lid on it, so you can make up anything. I use it to mix up cake mixes. I use it to put in, mix up Yorkshire puddings. I use it for everyday stuff. You can bake cakes in it because it's oven proof. It's great for a Barbie cake, and you got the base for a Barbie cake for you to also have little girls. I find I use it a lot for a lot of different things. I use it for making my dips when I'm making dips for stuff. It holds 8 cups. So I'm going to add 3.5 cups to this. So this is the classic batter bowl that had 8 cups. It also has a smaller one that I believe holds 5 cups, if I remember correctly. Knives come in these beautiful little sleeves, so that when you're done with them, the blade is always protected. So while that's cooking, you can see you've seen the wooden cutting board. The nice thing about the wooden cutting board is it's got grooves on it here, so if you put something on it, it won't spill over. And on the other side, you can use it as a serving tray for nice cheeses and meats if you're serving people out to the table and you got company, so it's multi-use. Just about everything that Pampered Chef has is multi-use and handy for more than one thing. That's what I love these rock crocks so much for. They're good for everything. So that's cooked enough now. I'm going to add the rice. I'm going to let that cook for about 2 minutes now. Stirring it up. Still using my handy mixing scraper. It's a spoon, it's a scraper, it's a wooden spoon, it's everything all in one. Now this one I've had for many years. As you see, it's not all stained up and turned orange. And I even used to use it the other day in that shell and cheese sauce I had you, and that's got all kinds of redness in it. In fact, I don't even think I washed it till the next day. Now, once in a while, it might get a bit stained, but you wash it a couple times, you leave it in the sunshine, and it whitens right up again. And it's all one piece, so you never have to worry about the handle falling off. Throw out the piece of shit you have. Get rid of all the extra spoons and scoops you have for everything. You got a spatula, you got a spoon, you got a stirrer in the heat, you got a thing for scraping stuff out of jars. You got everything you need right there. So you can buy a whole bunch of stuff, or you can just buy one. There, that's toasting up quite nicely now. I'm going to add the chicken broth. I think I might toast that up a little more. As you can see, there's not much to see. It's just rice, and it's getting kind of like a little bit toasty. It's changed its color a little bit. Now I'm going to add the broth. You can use chicken broth. Vegetable broth makes the nicest flavor risotto, though. It's been my experience. Now, risotto on the stove calls for white wine, too, and I'd be sitting here stirring this until the water got ready. It'd take forever. It's very labor-intensive. That's why I love this one. Now, I'm going to put that in the microwave. For 15 minutes. Give my grill pan a couple minutes to heat up. When I'm about 8 minutes away from that being done, I'm going to throw these chicken breasts on the grill. I'm going to lay them on the grill, put the press on top of it, walk away from it, ignore it for 4 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to flip it over and walk away from it and ignore it for 3 minutes. And then I'm going to check it. Chances are it's done. Sometimes it needs a couple more minutes, but not usually. When I come to check it for the second time, I'm going to turn on the steamer and steam my broccoli. Supper. Half an hour or less. And that includes cleanup. Because while this is cooking and this is cooking, I'm going to pick up my mess. So you can make wonderful meals really fast and really good and not eat the same old thing. And if shit's burning and sticking to your pots, it's probably not you, it's probably your equipment. Tomorrow, we're going to learn another interesting recipe that's super easy and gets you in and out of the kitchen fast and is good for you too.